Hello everyone, welcome to Durga Soft Solutions. So this is about Linux classes and myself Madhuri. I'm going to handle your Linux sessions and the demo sessions are going on. One moment, I will share the screen. So is my screen is available to everyone? Yeah, fine. So again, I'm telling my name is Madhuri. So I'm going to handle your Linux sessions. Okay. So what is Linux? Any idea what is Linux? Linux is an operating system. Okay. Generally, people will call Linux, but this is Linux. Linux is the operating system which is introduced by Linus, the person name that I will explain later. Now, coming to the point. So, what is Linux? Linux is an operating system. Before starting the concept, Linux classes like installation of operating system and what are the commands are there in Linux operating system. Before explaining that, first I will explain what is Linux and what is the use of Linux. Okay, so what is Linux means it is an operating system which is introduced in the year of 1919 by the person Linus Torvalds. He is a graduate student. The person introduced this Linux operating system, Mr. Linus Torvalds, and after that, he gave this operating system to OSF organization, Open Source Foundation organization. So, why Linux? Now, you know that what is Linux? It is an operating system. Can you tell me what is operating system? Operating system is an interface between user and hardware. After assembling the PC directly, users cannot work with hardware components. We need an interface in order to interact with hardware components. We need an interface. Right. So, operating system is an interface between hardware and user. When you purchase a new computer or laptop, directly you cannot work with the device. What we do, we install operating system. After assembling our computer, we'll install the operating system. If you are purchasing laptops nowadays, they're only installing the operating system and they are giving for us. Because operating system is an interface in order to work with our computer. Done. So you know that now 2 points. One is what is Linux? Linux is an operating system. And second point, what is operating system? Operating system is an interface between hardware and user. That point also you know. Fine. Now, why Linux? In order to work with hardware components, we need one operating system. We already have Windows operating system, which is user friendly. Next, finish. Right, it is very user friendly. No commands. So, we already have Windows operating system. Then why again Linux operating system? Why people are choosing to learn Linux operating system? Why organizations are switching with Linux operating system? And why all the latest technologies are coming with Linux operating system. Now, all latest technologies are coming with Linux only. Why? Why Linux? So, first, I will explain that. Why Linux means features of Linux. So, if you are clear in features of Linux, then we can learn how to use this Linux operating system. Right? And whatever point I will explain in my class, every point I will give notes. I will show you slides and I will explain. And whatever commands I'm showing, every command I will make a note and I will share the notes. Every day I will share the notes. The commands, what I am explaining, I will explain practically and theoretically, and I'll make the note of each and every command. Okay. So every point I will make you to clear. Linux is not at all difficult. It is easy only, interesting first of all. So before discussing about everything about Linux, first I will explain why Linux. So that is features of Linux. So the first point, why Linux? Why people are choosing to Linux? So open source, it means source code we get along with the operating system. I'm repeating, Linux is open source. Source code we get along with the operating system. It means free software you will get. Operating system is free. No need to pay for the operating system. It is open to everyone. Is it same with Windows? Means no, right? When you are using Windows operating system, genuine operating system, we need to purchase license key. They will charge for the license key. See, if you are purchasing new laptop, they will charge extra 2 to 3,000 for operating system because Windows is not free of cost. They will charge for the operating system. So in organizations also, if you are using Windows operating system, means they will charge. Microsoft people will charge for the operating system as per number of users. If you are taking single user, they'll charge for the single user. If you are taking 3 users, 6 users, 9 users, 12 users, depends on number of users, number of computers. They will charge for the operating system. It is not free of cost, Windows operating system. But the main advantage of Linux is it is open, free to everyone. Operating system is free to everyone. Okay, and one more point. In Windows, if you install Windows operating system, and there if you want to install any other applications, for that application, again extra charge they will take. Microsoft people will charge extra for the application. Say, for example, if you want to install MS Office, again, extra charge for that. But in Linux, it is not like that. So that is the advantage of Linux operating system. So open source. Source code we get along with operating system and we can modify the operating system as per our requirement. We can modify the operating system as per our requirement. But if you know C++ 100%, then you can modify the operating system as per your requirement. It means you can change the commands. You can create your own commands and you can change the complete view of your operating system also. That is the advantage there. And whatever changes you are doing in your computer, it will not affect to other devices which are in your network. So that is the first point. I'm repeating again. So Linux is open source. Source code we get along with the operating system. We can modify the operating system as per our requirement. Okay, and the second point is multitasking. It can do multiple tasks. It can run multiple applications at a time. This feature is there in other operating systems also. This feature maximum, many operating systems are supporting this feature. Even Windows also supports multitasking. The feature is available in Windows also. The same feature is available in Linux, multitasking. It can do multiple tasks at a time. You can run multiple applications. It will work. And third reason is multi-user. See, what is this multi-user? I will explain. There are three types of users or three types of operating systems, you can say. There are three types of operating systems. One is single user, single task operating system. Second is single user, multitask operating system. And third is multi-user, multitask operating system. So there are three types of operating systems: single user, single task, single user, multitask, and multi-user, multitask. There are three types. So first one is single user, single task. In single user, single task, only one user can log in and that user can perform only one task. Only one user can log in and that user can perform only one task. It means one task is running, one application is running. At the same time, if you want to open any other applications, it will not support that. So single user, single task. Example for this is DOS operating system. DOS is an example. DOS means disk operating system. That is the first operating system we have. And second one is single user multitask. Here also, how many users list it is displaying. When you switch on your computer, how many user accounts it is displaying. Still, you can click on only one user and that user can perform only one task. Okay, so, sorry, that user can perform multiple tasks. I'm repeating. So single user multitask means how many users list it is displaying. You can click on only one user account, but that user can perform multiple tasks. If they are running one application, any application they are running, the same time they want to listen the songs, they want to watch movie, they want to run different applications, they can run, but only one user as one user. If they want to log in as second user, another user, first they will log out from one user, then they will log in into another user. So that is called single user multitask. Example for single user multitask is Windows. In Windows, how many users list it is displaying. Still, you can click on only one user and that user can perform multiple tasks. And next one is, the third one is multi-user multitask. Here, multiple users can log in and that users can perform multiple tasks. Okay, at a time, multi-user multitask. In this operating system, at a time, 60,000 users it will support. You can allow 60,000 users to log in at a time, but we will not log in with 60,000 user accounts because we will get confusion. But it supports that multiple users can log in at a time. It means one user is working. In the same time, if you want to log in as another user, you can log in as another user. You can see two users at a time. And you can work with two users at a time. More than two also. Okay. And that users can perform multiple tasks also. So example is Linux. Linux is multi-user, multitask. What is this multi-user multitask? How you can access multiple users at a time? That I will show you practically in further sessions. Now, as features of Linux, whatever points I'm explaining, all the points I will explain practically in further sessions. Every point I will explain practically. And what is the next feature of Linux? So here next feature is portability. It means can be installed on all hardware architecture. So it doesn't require any specific hardware. It works with any hardware environment. Say, for example, if you want to install AIX server, it required IBM hardware components. So it works with only IBM devices. You cannot install AIX server in other hardware components. But Linux is not like that. Linux works with any hardware environment. That is also advantage of Linux operating system. And one more thing, with least hardware environment also, if you have 512 MB RAM, 40 GB hard disk, if you have very least hardware environment also, we can use Linux operating system. That is also advantage of Linux. Okay, so this is also one of the reason in Linux operating system. Why Linux means? I'm repeating these points again. First is open source, means source code we get along with the operating system, and we can modify the operating system as per our requirement. Second point, multitasking. So multitasking means multiple application can be run at a time. And third feature is multiple users. Multiple users can log in at a time and that users can perform multiple tasks. This I will show practically also in further sessions. And next reason why Linux means can be installed on all hardware environment. It works with any hardware environment. That is also advantage of Linux. Okay. And next reason why Linux means. Scalability. And before explaining about this, is the points are clear? What I explained up to now, the points are clear to you? Can you respond once? Mr. Roy and Moses, can you respond? Is the points are clear what I am explaining?
Yes, ma'am, it's clear.
Then, am I going fast?
Yes, ma'am, everything is clear and you're going at the right pace. I like everything so far.
Fine, thank you. Now, scalability. Scalability means same operating system can be used in normal desktop PC to supercomputer. Operating system is same. I'm repeating, in Linux, we have one operating system for client PCs and server PCs also. Normally, in our laptop to supercomputer, what operating system you are using is that is same. Say, for example, if you take Windows machine, in Windows, we have client operating system and server operating system. It means there are two types of operating systems in Windows. What is client? What is server? Client means which request for the services. Server means which provides requested services. I'm repeating. Client means which request for the services. Server means which provides requested services. So, there are two types of operating system as I told in Windows, client and server. Server operating systems means NT 2000, 2003, 2008, 2012, 2016. These are the server operating systems. Client operating systems means 95, 98, ME, XP, Vista, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows 11. These are the client operating systems we have. So, operating systems are different for client side and server side. So, if you want to be the perfect in Windows administration, if you want to know everything about Windows operating system, you should be perfect in server operating system and client operating systems also. You should know how to manage both. What are the settings are there, features are there. You should know everything about both operating systems. And say, for example, now if you installed client operating system like Windows 10 or Windows 11, there if you want to install any servers like FTP, DNS, DHCP servers, what is this servers? This also will see in further sessions. So if you want to learn or if you want to install any servers in your operating system, that is not possible in Windows because you installed client operating system. So if you want to use any server in your PC means uninstall client operating system, install server operating system, then you can configure servers. That is in Windows. So operating system is different. But coming to Linux, there is only one operating system for client PCs and server PCs. Operating system is same. Now, what we are using in our laptop, what you are installing for practical purpose, the same operating system in real time also you will use. That is the advantage here. And the commands, what we are learning, here what we are learning, the same commands from starting to beginning to ending, we use the same commands. There is no separate commands for server, there is no separate command for clients. Operating system is same here. Okay, in our desktop PC itself, you can configure servers also. That is the advantage in Linux. I'm repeating scalability. Same operating system for desktop PC to supercomputer. Operating system is one. Next is reliability. So reliability means no downtime. 24 by 7. Large servers have been successfully running without any downtime in Linux. Is it possible with other operating systems? Means no, that is not at all possible with other operating systems. Say for example, in Windows, every week, like every Thursday or Friday in organizations means Microsoft people will send patches. Patches means updates. They will send updates, new updates, not only to your organization. If you are using genuine operating system, Windows operating system means even we can see when you are going to shut down or restart, it will show sometimes new updates are available. Do you wish to continue? Right. Once you updated, if you click on the update, either it will restart the system or it will shut down the system because it need to restart the PC after updating the patches in Windows. So in organization, what Microsoft people will do, they will send the patches, updates. Every week they will send new updates. So now what administrator will do is they will install the updates in server machine. Once update is completed, it will ask them to restart. If they restarted the computer, that is downtime because it will stop all the services, backend services, and it will restart the computer. That is downtime on. So before this happening, what administrators will do is they will give the information to all the end users, clients, everyone. Server is temporarily down for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. They will give the time. They will send the mails to employees. Okay, so that is the reason sometimes when you are doing any online transactions, Google Pay or Phone Pay transactions, if you are doing means you will get the messages like server is down temporarily because the servers, the main servers are restarting. So there is a downtime in Windows machines. But coming to Linux, no downtime in Linux machines. Many servers are working for many years, it's many years. Servers are working without downtime. It means without restarting the computer. How to update anything without restarting, that also I will show practically. Okay. And next one is security. Linux is secure, very secure Linux. Many options are there. Why Linux is secure means there are many options. So one is inbuilt IP tables are there. IP tables means firewalls. Firewalls are enabled in many operating systems. So in Linux also inbuilt firewalls are there. The option is there in Linux also. And also SC Linux, secured enhanced Linux. This option also available in Linux. We can configure manually this too. Whenever you want to enable firewalls or whenever you want to disable the firewalls, what you want to allow, what you don't want to allow, you can do manually configuration. This is available in many operating systems. Here also it is available. Firewalls. IP table is nothing but firewall. IP tables are used to secure network files and SC Linux is used to secure local files. How they will secure that I will show practically in next sessions. Again, I'm repeating Whatever points I am telling now as features of Linux, every point practically I will show in further sessions also. Okay, in all the points I will show you practically in further sessions. Now coming to security. So first reason is inbuilt IP tables and SC Linux is there. And next one, Linux works with command line interface. No next finish. It works with command line interface. Linux is secure because it works with commands. So without knowing the commands, no one can configure anything in your computer. If you have a laptop or desktop, if someone asks your computer, but if there is Linux operating system in that computer, they cannot access anything until they know the commands. So Linux is secure because it works with command line interface. But don't think Linux is difficult because of these commands. Commands are very easy and no need to remember any command because every command I will explain, I will give notes. Each command I will give notes. What are the commands are they? What is the use of the command? I will give notes. I will show you practically. I will explain theoretically and I will give notes also. Which command is used for which purpose. So it is not at all difficult. If you just follow the notes, that is enough. Okay, so Linux is secure because it works with commands. Next reason why Linux is secure. It doesn't support exe files. No next finish. No auto runs are available here. So Linux is secure because many PCs are infecting with virus because of exe files, auto runs. Just by clicking single click, automatically it will install some applications. It will install virus also in some pieces. But because of exe files, but Linux doesn't support exe files. So Linux is secure. It doesn't support exe files. Next point, why Linux is secure? Linux is secure because for every user, password authentication is compulsory. Without password, we cannot log in into any user. Is it the same with other operating system? Means no. So for example, if you have Windows operating system, if you created any user, if you don't generate passport to that user, if you just click on that user account, it will allow you to log in into that account. That is in Windows, but not in Linux. Once a user is created, password is compulsory. If there is no password, we cannot log in into that user. So for every user, password authentication is compulsory. So without knowing the password, other cannot log in into normal user account also. So that is also one reason why Linux is secure. Clear. And next point, why Linux is secure means in Linux, we can encrypt a file. In Linux, we can encrypt a file by assigning password. Encryption means converting the original data into standard format. So we can encrypt a file by assigning password. Then, what is the use of this means? Say for example, you have one Windows PC. There, you created a notepad. In that notepad, you added some important content. It may be your office details, personal information, passwords, whatever it is. Some important data is there. You saved that notepad somewhere in your computer. I don't know where exactly you saved that notepad, but I know that there is an important content in your notepad. Okay, now I want to find where you saved that notepad. I have access to your computer. So when you are not there, I'm checking each and every file, every folder, every partition. I'm just doing double clicks and I'm checking one by one, everything. I may take time, one 1 hour, 2 hours, 1 day, 2 days. I may take time to find the notepad, but definitely I will find it, right? So once when I'm double click on the notepad, it is showing in the clear test. So when I found the notepad and I double click on the notepad, the content it is showing in clear text. So I can read the content what is there in your notepad. No security for the data. But coming to Linux, in Linux, Once you create a file and you added some content into the file, important content if you added into the file, before saving the file, you can encrypt that file by assigning password. That is called password encryption. Okay, now you created a file, you added some important content into the file, and you encrypted that file by assigning password. Now you saved that file in desktop itself. Now, when I am trying to check content of your file, it is displaying the content in encrypted format. So I don't understand what is there in your file. Now, I'm trying to open your file. It is asking me for the password because it is password encrypted. Here, one point you should know that is in Linux, if you want to check content, you can check the content without opening the file. So to check the content, we have separate command. To open a file, we have separate command. So when I am trying to check content of your file, it is showing the content in encrypted format. So I am unable to understand the content. When I am trying to open your file, it is asking me for the password. I don't know your password. So I cannot access the content of your file. I cannot do any modifications. I cannot delete anything from your file. So that is also one reason why Linux is secure. We can encrypt a file by assigning password. This also I will show. We have a concept VI editor. There I will show this concept, encryption concept. Okay. And next reason why Linux is secure. In Linux, all the servers, all the applications or all the programs works with configuration files, no setup files. No next finish. If you want to install anything, if you want to install any programs, softwares, everything we get as a configuration file. So manually we need to configure everything. What we configure, your system accepts that only. So that is also one of the reason why Linux is secure. No setup files. We need to configure everything manually only. Here one more point. After completion of your configuration, you can encrypt your configuration file also. It means you can encrypt your servers, your applications, your softwares also you can encrypt. So others cannot do anything with your servers. That is also one reason why Linux is secure. Hope you are clear in the points. I'm repeating again the points. Linux is secure because inbuilt IP tables are there and SC Linux are there. IP tables are used to secure network files. SC Linux is used to secure local files. And it works with command line interface. Linux is secure because Linux works with command line interface. Without knowing commands, others cannot configure anything. Linux is secure because it doesn't support exe files. Okay, and Linux is secure because password authentication is compulsory for every user. Next, Linux is secure because we can encrypt a file by assigning password. Linux is secure because there is no setup file. Everything we get as a configuration file. Is the points are clear? Why Linux is secure? These are few points why Linux is secure means. Is these points are clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Is the points are clear what I explained?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
yeah. And one more reason. Why Linux means virus free. Linux is virus free. This point I'll show separately. I'll explain. Linux is virus free. For this, I'll give one example. Virus free means what? Free from virus. For that, I'll give one example. Say, for example, I have two pieces. One is Windows machine and one is Linux machine. First of all, What is computer? Forgot about this Windows and Linux and advantages and disadvantages. Forgot about this all. What is computer means? Computer is an electronic device. That's it. It is an electronic device, right? So what is the function of computer? It takes input from input devices, do the process and gives output through output devices. That is the function of a computer. Any computer, any brand computer function is same. It takes input from input devices, it do the process and it gives output through output devices. That is the function of a computer. What process it will do, how it will do the process, that is depends on operating system you are using in your computer. Now, coming to Windows machine, you have a computer. There we install Windows operating system. So how it will do the process means, say for example, whenever you are giving any input like A plus B, 2 plus 2, 1 plus 1, whatever input we are giving, okay, that input we call as utilities. So when you are giving any input, it will transfer the data to shell. Now, what is shell? Shell is an interface between hardware and user. It is an interface between user and hardware. So what is the function of shell? Shell converts user understanding language into machine understanding language, means into zeros and ones. Whenever the data is coming inside, what shell will do is immediately it converts into zeros and ones and it transfers to hardware environment. It will not check what data you are giving. The function of shell is only converting into zeros and ones. So now you connected a pen drive. The pen drive is infected with virus. What shell will do? It converts into zeros and ones and it transfers to hardware environment. Virus is not required, but it will transfer to hardware environment. So PC will infect with virus. Or if something applications are coming which are not supported by our hardware environment, shell converts into zeros and ones and it transfers to hardware environment. That is the problem in Windows. Sometimes when you are browsing, automatically new tab will open and it downloads some tools also. And it runs the tools. When something is coming inside, shell converts into zeros and ones and it transfers to hardware environment. So that is the reason many PCs are infecting with virus in Windows machine. It supports exe files also. And virus supports exe files. So easy for virus to enter into our computer in Windows machine. But coming to Linux, in Linux, whenever you are giving any input it will take with commands. We will give input with commands. Cat, touch, vi, vim, man, yum. We have different commands. So whenever we are giving any input, here also it will send the input to shell because system cannot understand what is text, what is audio, what is video. It cannot understand anything. It can understand only zeros and ones. So it transfers the data to shell. Now what this shell will do? It converts into zeros and ones. Then it transfers to kernel. In Linux, there is a kernel. Okay. So what this kernel is means, kernel is an interface between shell and hardware in Linux. Okay. In Linux, we use /bin/bash shell we use, shell scripting we use, and VM kernel we use. The kernel which we use is VM kernel. Okay. Now, what this kernel will do is, before transferring the data to hardware environment, first kernel checks whether the data is supported by hardware or not. If the data is supported by hardware, it transfers the data to hardware environment. If the data is not supported by hardware, it rejects back to shell. Now, assume something pen drive is connected. The pen drive is infected with virus. Shell converts into zeros and ones and it transfers to kernel. Kernel will check. Virus is not required to hardware environment. It rejects back to shell. Or you're trying to install some exe files. Exe is not supported by hardware environment. It rejects back. Or you have 32-bit operating system, but something you are trying to configure which is of 64-bit applications. So it is not supported. Your hardware is not supported. So your kernel will reject back. Okay, so if something files are coming and authentication is not there, administrator authentication is not there, kernel will reset back. only the secure data kernel transfers to hardware environment. So that is the reason Linux is virus free. These are the few reasons why Linux means. Why people are switching to Linux means these are few reasons. Okay, and all the reasons which we discussed as features of Linux, every point I will show you practically as I told. And I will give every point in class. Notes I will give. And you will also get the recordings, but in my point of view, recording is not at all required. If you concentrate on class, whatever I'm explaining, if you concentrate and if you are maintaining your own notes, okay, and the commands I will share with you in notes. I will send you the note also. So the notes also, if you are maintaining properly, if you are writing again yourself, if you're maintaining your own notes, it is not at all required. Writing the notes also not required because I will share with you notepad. Daily notes I will share. Okay, so daily you're doing the practicals, and if there is any doubt in the practical session and theoretical session, if there is any doubt, if you are clarifying there itself, so Linux is very easy for you. 100% you can understand Linux concept. It's very easy. Okay, and we have, and they will give you Telegram link also. Once you joined with our organization for these classes, if you registered, they will give Telegram link also. A group, they already there is a group. They'll add you in that group. Okay, so when you added into the group, what is the use of the group means? If you are doing any practicals, this is 1 hour session, right? Theoretical session. After completing the theory session or before theory session, if you are doing any practicals, if there is any doubts in the practical sessions, you can ping me on group. I will respond there. Any practical is not clear, or you're not getting output, or you missed something, you can ask me there, I will respond. Sometimes I may respond late, sometimes only, but definitely I will respond. If you are doing the late night practicals, any doubt is there, you can ping me there. If I'm available, I'll respond. Or when I check, I will respond immediately. But my students should be perfect in my classes. Every point I will explain. I will go slowly only classes. And whatever point I explain, I will give notes for every point. Okay, so this is the demo session. That is the reason I'm not asking you to write anything, or I'm not asking you to take a screenshot, or I'm not writing anything, because as this is only demo session. So again, in tomorrow's session, I will give points. One by one, every point you can make a note. I'll give the points in tomorrow's session. And classes will be from Monday to Friday, 3 sessions. Saturday, Sunday, you can use for doing practicals. Complete week, whatever we completed theory and practical. In Saturday and Sunday, you can do the practicals. You can revise again. And the concept, what we are discussing in the class. So the concepts I will explain once, the concepts we are discussing. So first we'll discuss about introduction to Linux. Like, what is Linux? Who invented Linux? What are the versions are there in Linux? What are the features are there in Linux? That I'll give. Okay, so and next, file system hierarchy of Linux. Like if you install Windows operating system along with your operating system in your C drive, you can see default folders. Same like that in Linux also some default directories. Okay, what are the directories are there? What is the use of the directories? Directory is nothing but folder. That I will explain. That is very important. And after that, I will explain, like I will tell what are the minimum requirement, hardware requirements. That also I will explain. Then in the third day, I will explain installation. How to install the operating system. That I will show. You may know how to install the operating system, but my classes are depends on totally based on freshers. From fresher level to in depth from system administration to network administration. Completely I will cover. Up to 3 years experience you can go with my classes. I'm sure about that. Okay. And after this, I'll go with basic commands like after installing the operating system, how to log in, how to create a file, how to create a folder, how to copy, how to cut, how to delete. The basics I will explain. Okay, and after that, I'll go with VI editor. This is also used one of the way to create a file, and this is important in real time. So this VI editor I'll explain separately. And after that, basic shell commands, or we can say filter commands. So this also I will explain. Okay, and then user administration. What is user, how to create a user, how to delete user, how to modify user. So that I will explain there. How to log in, how to switch, I will explain. And after that, group administration. What is group? What is the use of creating group? How to add users into group? How to modify the group? How to delete the group? That I will explain. Okay. And after that, basic file permission. Like what is permission, how many types of permissions are there, where we apply permission, who can apply permissions, how many what type of permissions are there, everything I will explain. File permissions, okay, and directory permissions, everything I'll explain. Then advanced file permissions as access control list. Using ACLs I'll explain advanced file permissions. And after that, partitions. After entering to the operating system also, if you want to create partitions, how to create the partitions, standard partitions, I will explain. Okay. And after that, swap partitions. Swap is a virtual memory. It is used to increase the performance of physical memory. This is also one of the reason why Linux is fast. Comparing to Windows, Linux is fast performance wise. Okay, because of swap memory. It is used to increase the performance of physical memory, means RAM. Okay, so this also I'll explain theoretically and practically. I'll show in a further session. While installing the operating system also, I will explain about the swap memory. And next, logical volumes. This is very important in real time. We use logical volumes. It is used to create partitions with LVM option. And difference also I'll explain. What is the difference between logical volumes and standard partitions? That also I'll explain. Standard partitions, logical volumes I'll explain. Then labels. How to apply the labels. What is labels? How to apply the labels. Then rate partitions. We also have rate partitions. I will explain about the rate partitions. Okay. Then after this, we'll go with basic networking concept, like how to assign IP address in Linux machine, how to assign, how to change the host name, computer name, how to assign IP addresses. That I will explain on the day's class. And next one is backup and restore. So backup and restore, how to take the backup from one device to another device. And if there is any corruption, if data is corrupted, or if data is deleted, unfortunately, how to restore the data back. That I will explain. Okay. And after that, package management. So I'll explain about package management. There I'll explain RPM and YUM. Okay. And next we'll discuss about YUM configuration. And next I'll explain Data sharing. How to share the data using NFS server, FTP server, Samba server. How to share the data. These topics are separate. Topics these are. NFS separately, FTP separately, and Samba separately. I will explain. One day time it will take. Okay. And next, DHCP. Assigning IP address automatically. That I will explain. And next, Apache server, web hosting. Next, mail server, sending text mails from one user to another user. How to send that I will explain. Then NIS server, it is used to access users centrally. I'll explain that. And next, I'll explain DNS server, domain naming service. So these are the main topics I'll explain. Some more topics also there. Okay, link files, different topics are there. Pseudo concept, link files concept, different concepts are there. So that concepts also I will explain. So these are the concepts which we are going to cover in our Linux sessions. Anything else you want to ask me? Any doubts? Or you want me to ask anything?
Ma'am, what will be the class duration per day?
Sorry, come again.
What will be the class duration of per day?
Duration?
Yes, class duration per day.
Yeah,
Class
duration is 35 days. Monday to Friday classes will be going on. And 35 days. One
duration.
or 2 days extra if I'm taking also I will take. I will not go the class fastly. I will not skip anything. Okay. I will not take less than that. It will take 35 days minimum to cover the concepts because as we need to cover everything there.
And what will be the timing, ma'am?
So timing this week I will take 7:30 to 8:30 8 to 9 this week. From next week onwards I'll take from 7:30 to 8:30. Is the timings are okay?
Yes, yes, ma'am. For me, it's okay.
Done. Fine. No more demo sessions. Tomorrow, I will start the class. I mean, today, whatever points I explained, I will give the notes for that and I'll continue the session.
Ma'am, it will be beneficial for the Red Hat certification.
Yes, of course. After completion of this course, you can definitely write a Red Hat certification. If you just prepare for 1 month after completion the course, if you prepare for 1 month, just if you do practice, definitely you can write exam. As per Red Hat syllabus only, I will go the concepts.
Okay, okay, ma'am. So, one more thing I have to ask. So, will the organization help in getting job in Linux?
Job assistance they will give. From my side means if there is any openings, definitely I will share the information. If I know anything, openings are there, definitely I will share. And our organization will give job assistance.
So, ma'am, what is the starting package? As I am working as a desktop support engineer from last 3 years, so I am
Okay.
getting something like 4 LPA. So, what will be the starting package for me in Linux?
See, if you're already working, if you're switching from Windows to Linux means the packages depends on your old package.
Okay,
Definitely you can ask hike more than 25% or 50% you can go.
okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah. Anything else you want to ask?
No, that's it. Actually, I'm skipping the to learn the Linux from last 2 years, as I thought Linux is something different. Uh, I can't learn this very hard, but when I learn from you this times, first times it looks very easy.
Linux is very easy. Comparing to Windows, Linux is very easy.
There is a hype in my mind or around us that Linux is something different.
No, 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 not at all. See, just you watch this for 1 week, you will tell, definitely you'll tell again. Linux is very easy.
So, ma'am, is there anything for the scripting in Linux as in future if someone want to go in the automation field or cloud, so there is need of scripting. So is there anything?
No scripting in Linux. This is operating system, right? But in
Okay.
Linux, we have AWS, advanced AWS is there, DevOps is there.
Yes, yes. I
But
just
in Linux, there is no scripting concept.
and
No need to learn any scriptings. If you want to work with Linux operating system, no need to learn any scripting.
okay. Or is there any class will be for troubleshooting? How to troubleshoot? How to get the issue?
Yes, yes. If when the server issues are coming, while configuring servers only, I will show how to troubleshoot also.
Actually, at the end, we have to work with the users now. That's why I'm asking.
Yes, yes, yes. In Linux, first of all, the main advantage is you will not get more errors. Once you configure something in Linux, that's it. You will not get any errors. But while doing configuration, if you do anything mistake, there instantly it will show the errors. How to troubleshoot that, I will show practically.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
So is this okay now?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, from my side.
Yeah, fine. So we'll meet tomorrow at 8 p.m.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye.
Yeah, welcome. So thank you for the session. We'll meet tomorrow. And if you just register with our company, they will also add you on Telegram group. You can ping me there also.
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah, fine. Thank you for the session. I'm closing the session. We'll meet tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah, Moses.
You were saying that where should we ping you so that you can add us to the Telegram group?
Uh, Now you just join, you just register.
Yeah.
Then they will send you one link, Telegram group link they will send.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, then you can
Okay.
ping me from there.
Okay, bye.
Yeah. Good day. We'll meet tomorrow.
Bye, ma'am.
Yeah.